All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 5. After talking with Will Ferris and Cam Mayer, I decided that this is the right time to throw in this episode. And this one talks about creating a character or choosing a character and embodying it. And what I mean by that is dating back, I don't know, maybe 9 months ago, I was getting ready for 9 months ago, I was getting ready for a game in Seattle the night before, and I was just really struggling. Just felt really lost in the world, felt lost in whatever was going on. Called my parents and for an hour, just trying to figure out why. And so I didn't, truthfully, I didn't, I was like, the game's coming, I just felt like, I don't really want to play, truthfully. That was my honest state the night before. And then that whole day I just kind of thought about it, and knowing that might be how I feel, but that's absolutely not what I was going to choose. And so I started thinking, like, what do I want to embody today? And it was like, I want to embody trust. I want to embody who I am as a basketball player. And those traits resonated to a character in a book, a fictional story that I had recently read, and his name was Darrow. He's came from a low caste in society and basically worked his way up to becoming the highest member of society, and now he's leading everything. He excelled in this academy school where it was just for like the premier people, the golds in society, but he was a red, and he turned himself into a gold and basically just took over all the other people who were supposed to be better than him, or the guy. And thinking about him as a character really helped me get into the right state to play in for that game. So I wear rubber bands on my wrists all the time, and I wore a red one because he was in the book called Red Rising. He's the main character in that book, and I wore a red rubber band in Seattle, and that was probably the freest I've felt in a college basketball game in my 4-year career. And not saying that I do it every time to get into to make every shot or something. Like that game, I ended up going like 8 for 9. But I don't do it to have the shots going. It's to get into the mentality of what I want to embody. And so recently I've thought about that a little bit more. And last week on Tuesday, I picked a character. I thought of like characters that I enjoy listening to or watching in movies, and some of them were like, it's Joy from Inside Out, Olaf, Darrow, and then Santiago is one from The Alchemist. He's the main character in that. And Olaf was the first one that stuck out to me. I just think Olaf is hands down the most genuine character I've seen. I love him dearly. He's just super genuine, super authentic, fully himself. One of the coolest things was that in a scene he has he has a what is it? He has the sun. The sun is out, and he's a snowman, and he's telling everyone how much he loves summer, and you can see him like melting, and he's just saying how much he loves summer. So even something that kills him, he just gravitates toward, and he loves it. And on top of that, he's just like funny and fully authentic. Olaf is fully Olaf. And so I was like, that's really cool, and I respect that to the highest degree, and I want to become that for practice today. So I was like, what traits does he embody? He's authentic, he's genuine, he's fully himself, he trusts himself. When something scary comes along, like the sun, and he's melting, he says he loves it, and it's his favorite time of the year. So I was like, that's really dope. How can I become that on the basketball court today? So I chose Olaf. I wore a white wristband because he's a snowman, and I wrote Olaf on it. And the whole practice, it was just whenever something came up or I felt tense or tentative, maybe there's like a restriction where if you turn it over, you got to run. It was like, no, I'm I am fully myself. I'm Olaf. Well, how would he view it from this lens? And it's cool because it's kind of creative. Not kind of, it is creative, and it's out of the box. Because I've been to a lot of practices in my life. I've went through it a lot of the same ways where it's like, practice, 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 practice. But when you give yourself something to focus on, maybe it's a character or a group of characteristics that you want to embody, it makes it a lot more. You're creating solutions to things that come up more so than I would if it's just, all right, today I got practice and that's what I'm going to do. So what I did before that practice was just, I watched an 8-minute clip of Olaf's best highlights. So most people might watch Allen Iverson highlights or Kobe highlights before a practice, but I figured I'd watch Olaf highlights, and that was exactly what I needed that day. And now, granted, I don't know how it works, so I don't know if I'm going to, I think routine is difficult. So like if I chose him every day, it would get repetitive. So I'm thinking about, maybe switching it up today, see what comes up. I really like Santiago, so I'm doing this in real time. We got practice in 2 hours. No, an hour and 30. So we practice in 90 minutes. I'll just process this in real time. I love Santiago because as the main character in The Alchemist, he trusts his dream. He trusts the fact that he wants to do something that his heart is telling him to do. So he is a shepherd, sells his flock, works in a tea shop where he realizes that he could live there and be fine for the rest of his life, but he still has an internal calling to say, I want to go see the pyramids, because that's where his treasure is at. And so he ends up leaving everything he's comfortable with, and he goes and he follows his dreams. And I think that's really, really cool and inspiring, and I resonate to that a lot. I love that book. That's probably my favorite book. And so the qualities that he embodies are just deep level of trust. That's one of them. He listens to his heart. He listens to the omens. So he listens. He dreams. I think the biggest one is he trusts. He trusts himself deeply. And that's what I need today. Let's do it. It's trust. So Santiago, the book cover is red, so I'm going to be wearing a red rubber band. I'll write his name on it, and I'll put it in this video too. And then I'll finish up with a post-practice interview on how I did with the creativity that I set. It's very easy to get stuck in a routine of practice, or it's the same thing over and over, and you do this or you do this drill or you do that drill, you know what to expect, which is why playing is so fun, because it's just so creative and you have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know what the defense is going to throw at me, or the offense, what movie's going to hit me within a game. It's just so reactionary, and you trust your instincts, you trust your reactions. So that's what creating this character and choosing your character is. It's creative. There's going to be stuff that comes up where it forces you to trust the commitment that you made. So if I said, today I am Olaf, and I am embodying someone who is authentic, who trusts, who is genuine, who is funny, who can smile when something goes bad or poorly or difficult. I'm signing a contract with myself before I step onto the court to be like, I am doing this, and you have my word. Sign it, Connor Gleason. And so when something comes up, it's like, I signed the contract. Now, am I going to go back on my word, Or am I going to embody everything I said I was going to do, regardless of what happens? Good, bad, ugly, terrible, frustrating, amazing. It allows you to be creative. And I used to think creativity was something like out there that, oh, I got to be an artist. I got to paint. I got to be good at taking pictures, make arts and crafts. It's creativity in a sense, but creativity is creativity. There is no realm that says this is what it is. That's why it's called creativity, because you can create it as you wish. So creating a character is creativity, and it makes showing up to practice, honestly, it adds a lot more joy for me. Practice recap. We're back. I think the character we chose to play was Santiago from The Alchemist, and that it's kind of unreal sometimes how things are just connected in ways that you can't really see. Like, for example, recorded this 3 hours ago. Decided on this is the character I'm going to play. These are the characteristics that this person embodies. And it's Santiago from The Alchemist. I claimed it 4 hours ago. 20 minutes ago, I'm getting my neck and back worked on. And I was just, talking to the person that was doing the cups, like, oh, where'd you get started? How'd you get into this school? She was saying, yeah, I went to Fullerton, but in high school, the high school that she went to was called Santiago. And it's like, there's just these little things, and that's what The Alchemist talks about, is like little signs along the way to show that everything's aligned. And it's just, there's so many little things that happen where it's like, yes, this is, it might seem odd to the outside world to be like, this makes sense. But when she said the name Santiago, it was like, I could have picked any character for today in the world, and I could have been anywhere else, but I had to hear at 3:00 the name Santiago pop up after I just chose it 3 hours ago. And to me, that's what I need today. Let's do it. It's trust. So Santiago. And to me, it's not really a coincidence. So it just, to me, means that things are connected, aligned, even if it doesn't really feel like it may be. But it's just a sign from the world, the universe, God, to just keep going. Trust the path that you're on. And today it was just awesome. It was awesome leading with those traits and qualities and embodying them. And I'm excited to see what else pops up in the future.